Welcome to TV Taught Me. So I love watching The Last of Us. But what I'm learning is I don't really want to be a part of the apocalypse. Back in the day, I used to think it would be cool to say that I survived through these tough times and helped rebuild society. But then I started thinking, this looks too close to reality. And it's real ashy out here. And on The Last of Us, it just seems like they don't have anything better to do except get revenge on each other. And it seems like every time, or at least most of the time, that somebody's trying to get revenge, they always bring demons with them. And who are these demons that I speak of? It's the actual infected. The infected in The Last of Us are worse than the tethers in Us. They stay underground just waiting on their chance to pounce. For example, in season 1, when Kathleen was looking for Henry, and sort of Sam, because wherever Sam was, Big Brother was gonna be there. And the brothers almost got away, and then Kathleen and the goon showed up. And she and her people are making all kinds of noise, done wrecked a vehicle, and that vehicle softened up the earth just enough for the demons to slide through. All they needed was a little doorway, and she gave it to them. So now we got a horde of infected that done hit the streets talking about guess who's Bazak? And this was where we got our first intro to Thumper. And I'm trying to figure out who they bit. The Rock? Jason Momoa? She was so wrapped up in her own vengeance that she was blinded. She caught up to Henry, she got gobbled up real quick. Another good example of this is Abby coming to look for Joel and Jackson. When she and her former Firefly friends got there, they didn't know how they were going to find Joel. But then Joel found her because she slipped trying to get a closer look of the patrol team. She was like, "Oh no, my boots just shook up the ground." So her little slip up opened a door for the demons to come from underneath again. So in the middle of this blizzard, you are running from the demons that you brought to the surface. You narrowly escape with your life. And then the person that saves you from being bitten is the person you came to take out. And it's crazy because Abby was also blinded by vengeance. So much to the point that once she found out who he was, she was looking for weapons, instead of thinking about the fact that they barely got in the building in the first place. And your target is trying to figure out how to get the target off of y'all's back and trying to figure out how to get you, him, and Dina out of that situation alive. He could have left you down there, so that's save number 2. So y'all make it out of that building alive, and they still chasing y'all like crazy. And you ran into a little bit of luck because somebody in Jackson decided that they were still going to work on this very wintry cold day. And he decided to bang on this pipe and pull some roots out. And the brain was like, "Now I know you lying. I was nestled in here and all kinds of warm. But since it's brisk in here and you done got me cold, I'm going to go ahead and call my people back to their roots. And that's not enough that's chasing Abby and them. I'm going to call in reinforcements and see how y'all like that. Because if I got to be cold, y'all got to be cold. Oh, I'm going to get me some bodies today. Alexa, play Let the Bodies Hit the Floor." So lucky you, Abby, because the demons decided to divert their attention over to Jackson. Now, even though I do have blame for Abby in this situation, I blame Joel more. Because like I said in my episode 2 review, Joel should have taken out everybody at that hospital. If you're going to make such a decision, you got to take everybody out. Leave no witnesses. Maybe burn it down. But he didn't. So people could ID him and tell exactly what happened. And now here we are. So Abby ends up getting to do exactly what she came to do, and then Ellie walks in on the tail end of the situation. Not only did you bring out demons from underground, you brought out a demon inside of Ellie. And the same thing that I said about Joel in that hospital with the Fireflies is the same thing I'm going to say about Abby. She should have taken out Dina and Ellie in that situation, especially Ellie. And Ellie didn't even threaten them. She pretty much told them what she was going to do. And they were pretty much like, "That's cool. We're going to head out." So a few months later, after Ellie recovered and got this information from Dina, Ellie was like, "This is what it sounds like when we ride on our enemies." So Dina and Ellie make it all the way over to Seattle and find themselves in the middle of a war between the Scarves and the Wolves. And the Wolves find them first, so they gotta run from the Wolves, and they find themselves in what we thought was an abandoned train station. So the Wolves find themselves an entry point into the station and make just enough commotion for some clicks, some screeches, and shouts to become audible. And yet again, the brain said, "Guess who's Bazak?" And then the floodgates of the fungi just showed up. Now the Wolfpack all got ate up, and Ellie and Dina barely made it out. Ellie even had to take a bite on the arm, but they made it out. Now I done gave all these examples. Y'all should just learn to leave each other alone. But even at the end of the world, all y'all got is war. At least Jackson was trying to build something. They even had an Ace Hardware in the city. I was like, not y'all with the branding. And see, I can mess with Jackson because it seemed like they were trying to do stuff together and to build a better world. It seemed like everybody else out there is with the shenanigans. Like y'all didn't get tired of fighting before the world ended. So I say one of the lessons that's learned from the show is lay off the revenge. It seems like every time the revenge happens, y'all make things worse. Because we see what's happening with Ellie right now in Seattle. She already done took out Nora.
Who's next?
Another thing that I like seeing in The Last of Us is how people do like different events that we would have done had the world just been going on like usual. But in the apocalypse, what do you celebrate now? For example, Ellie and Dina are part of the alphabet soup. And when they get to Seattle and they're walking around and they see all these rainbow flags, they have no concept of what that is. Because not only did they ask what it was, but Ellie chimed in and said they must have been real optimists out here. And this makes sense because they're both 19, about to be 20, and they were born after the outbreak. So the likelihood that they're going to have a pride celebration in Jackson is very low. Because if you include Kat, it's only 3 people in the community that we know of. So that celebration is probably not going to happen, but we do at least know that they celebrate New Year's. Now, I will say that they need to work on the music selection for that situation because at the New Year's party, Ellie and Dina started making out on top of a gospel song. I was like, I know y'all lying, because ain't nobody trying to make out over no Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. That's probably why Seth got mad, but anyway, that's about it for me. Are there any other lessons that y'all saw in the show? Feel free to comment your thoughts down below. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you'll know when I drop new content. Thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.